I had to do some shopping today. The store with the best prices is about a 30-minute walk from my house, so I took the bus there after work, did all my shopping, then started the long walk home. It was about 6 p.m. when I left the store. The walk back home is right next to a busy street, but the sidewalk is unoccupied, so I've always considered it safe-ish, since there might not be many people walking alongside you, but there are plenty of cars driving by a meter or two away. Since it's a long walk home, I decided to listen to a podcast. It happened to be about a man who would stalk random women in the streets and then rape and murder them. This set the tone for the events that would come soon after, and had me all jumpy. Now I was laden with some heavy bags and struggling to carry them and walk at a normal pace. So when a man a few feet away asked me a question, I couldn't just pretend to not hear him and jog away. Some quick context now. I'm transgender. I don't look particularly masculine in my opinion, but I'm a good 6 to 10 inches taller than most other women in my country, so I stand out. This is going to be relevant. Like I was saying, the guy asked me something and I couldn't run away. So I took off one earphone, walked a little slower, and asked him to repeat his question. He was smiling the whole while. He had a wide smile, white teeth, and when he spoke, his voice was very soft. It was the soft voice you use with scared animals or children. Without letting his smile falter, the man asked in his soft voice, "Are you a woman?" I just gave him a quick, shaky smile and said yes, then rushed past a traffic light right before it turned green for the cars. I looked back and the guy had disappeared. I started to turn into a side street that had a few more people, when I look left and see that smile again. The guy walks up to me, closer, still smiling. I haven't seen him blink yet. He then says, "Seriously?" I tried to be as friendly and nice as I possibly can and go, "Yes, I am." The guy followed with a low, "You're very pretty. Do you need someone to accompany you?" He's still smiling. He starts walking closer to me. I don't want to make him angry, so I quickly blurted out an apology and rush into a restaurant a few feet away. I tell the lady there a guy is following me and she allows me to hide there for a few minutes. I leave and don't see the guy around. So I take another corner, walk by a different street, and continue on my way. This whole time, a couple of women in my earbuds are still talking about a man who followed random women and sexually abused them. I feel like crying. I kept walking home and see a man leaning by a wall up ahead, smiling at passerbys. I recognize the wide, white grin. So I run into another store and stay until my roommate comes and picks me up in her car and takes me home so I can promptly collapse in bed and have a minor panic attack. So, man with the fucking creepy smile, let's not meet again. This is a true story that happened to me when I was around 16 years old. I'm female. I used to roam for hours a day after getting home from school, desperate to escape my fucked up home life for as long as possible. When I say roamed, I mean I walked around my neighborhood until nightfall and frequently well after dark. depending on how crazy it was at home. There was, and still is, a park in my old neighborhood. It is a gorgeous little marsh preserve, with a little welcome center and a playground, some gardens, and trails. It was my go-to sanctuary from all the chaos. To get to the main area of the park, you had to walk a good mile or two on the main access road. I had my Walkman and would blast angry music so I could burn off steam as I trotted around, pissed off at the world. Well, one day, I noticed a black pickup truck behind me, driving slowly. My father was a cop, so I was always paranoid and aware of my surroundings, thanks to all the horrific tales he had brought home with him. I decided to size him up, and looked him straight in the eye as he finally passed me. The look that this guy gave me was absolutely chilling. He had turned his head all the way around, very awkwardly to the right, and stared right through me. Absolutely white, knuckling the steering wheel as he did. His eyes were strange, like they were different sizes, and one was bulging. He had dark hair, black eyes, and tan skin. He looked criminally insane, and at the same time, wildly hungry somehow. Demonic yearning is the best way I can describe it. I was already halfway into the park at this point, so it's not like I could have turned around and made a break for it. Plus, it was broad daylight, and I looked a bit crazy myself. The look I returned back to him was anything but helpless and innocent. As I was thinking this, he pulled over a few yards in front of me and slammed to a halt on the left side of the road, a huge cloud of dust engulfing the truck. No one else around. What the fuck do? I thought to myself. Luckily, coming up on the right was a long path through the woods that led into the back of my neighborhood. My shortcut on a good day. My lifeline today. It went about a half-mile through dense woods before you reached civilization. Thinking on my feet, I made a beeline for it, but remained calm since I had to get closer to the truck to access it, not altering my pace one bit. I turned my music all the way down and just listened. To my horror, I hear the door slam. I only looked back once to verify he was on foot, slowly starting to follow me into the woods with a grin plastered on his face. Like it was right where he wanted me to go and couldn't believe his luck. Still, I remained calm and even put it around, switching CDs so he would think I was oblivious as we traversed the path together. I felt that if he knew I was onto him, he would just run and tackle me, drag me back to his truck and have his feast before anyone else came by to see us. I was also checking to see if he would stop when I did. See if I was, in fact, what he was after. He always did, all the while walking through the impossibly quiet woods. I thought to myself, he wants to kill me, simply for the pleasure of it. My destination was so far away, and I felt I couldn't make it before he got to me. I even put on my favorite song, accepting my fate, thinking he was going to kill me right then and there. We were in the middle of the woods now. He picked up speed, and so I did too, trying to be subtle about it. I heard the leaves rustle under his feet, and he was getting closer and closer. All I could think was, just keep going. This is not how it ends. Fuck this guy. I'll fight him to the death if I have to. He is not taking me. By the time I reached the big, downed log at the end of the path, he was so close. I could hear him breathing an excited, perverted breath. He sounded like he was about to pounce, but I still refused to run until I could get close enough for someone to hear me. Should I have the breath to scream?
I felt him reach out, felt the air change behind me, cold, chopped air. Fuck this! I picked up speed again, and as soon as I hopped over the log and was out of sight, I began to sprint all the way to my house, tasting blood and unable to scream, looking behind me furiously the whole time, hoping someone would see the panic in my eyes and protect me from this madman. He didn't seem to follow, but I wanted to get home before he hopped into his truck and went hunting for me. I made it. For the first time in a long time, it felt like home. What made him stop? It was obvious what he was after with his predatory glares. Was it because I didn't run or show fear, and he couldn't get it up? Was it too easy? Was it just some asshole messing with me? I never saw him again, and like an idiot, told no one because I didn't want my walk time taken from me. I always carried a knife after that, and I can vividly recall being superstitious afterward, kicking myself for wishing, all throughout my childhood, for someone to kidnap me and take me away from my messed up family. Be careful what you wish for.